This podcast will hopefully contain words or statements of obscene, pornographic, or immoral character. You have been warned. You have been warned. You have been warned.
You would have thought I would have had time to work. Oh, all right, wait, ready? Fuck, yeah, it's getting better.
Yeah. Episode 12, baby. You
There's
nailed
no
it.
way this bitch is going to be as long as that last motherfucker. Though no one's complained.
Yeah, well, I think based on what I just told you off of camera,
Oh my
there's
God.
probably no way it's going to last that long. I just got back from happy hour brunch and I'm kind of wasted. So this might be the shortest episode of all time.
Oh my God. It's fucking
or
awesome.
maybe the longest, because I tend to ramble even more when I'm drinking. So there you go. And
Woo-hoo.
we even, like last week's episode, we talked about the downfalls of drinking. And I said that I don't drink that much. And today I went to happy hour brunch and got fucking blasted.
Nice fucking job. And me, I'm looking at my straight edge swatch.
Nice. Yeah.
Actually,
And-
I think I'm gonna have Dammy buy it for me for my birthday.
Oh,
If you're
dude,
listening, Dammy, I know you're 2 episodes behind. I'll take it.
I support that. You know what?
I just
thinking
wanted to have it. Like,
Yeah, no, it's
just the
cool.
fucking fact. Yeah.
I think that, like, even if you, and maybe this will ruffle some feathers, but I think, like, if, I don't know, I know people who are like so diehard straight edge that they are like kind of dickish to people who were straight edge but like aren't anymore. And I'm just like, that's like fucking lame. I was like, I don't know, like people change and like things happen in life where you go down different paths and stuff, but I don't know, like me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with not being straight edge, but like still aligning with and like rocking straight edge gear if you still like, I don't know, like I don't see the problem with that.
I don't think we were ever that way, even though I guess we were militant in the way that we kicked people out of the band for doing shit. But
Yeah, but you were also like 16 years old too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like you
And
can't
Toasty
really.
Oates
Yeah.
had tons of nice shit to say.
He did.
Oh my Lord.
I know.
People-
I read all that stuff. That was, well, it's interesting too, because I guess that I did sort of know that you guys knew each other sort of before I knew him, but I guess I hadn't really thought about that in like forever. Cause I guess when I first kind of met him, I found out that he knew you, but I didn't really even know like how that even came about. Like, how did you even like first meet him? Is it
I
because
was-
of his sister?
Yeah, it would be because of his sister.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's crazy to think. But we met, I guess, through her.
Okay.
And because he went to, I think he came with her she came to a show when I was a senior. So how old would you guys have been?
Well,
8th grade? He's a year younger?
Yeah,
He was
so-
like 7th grade, I guess.
Yeah, because I was a freshman when you were a senior, so he was probably like 8th grade, 9th or 8th or 7th.
Awesome. Nice job, Legion. Way to pleat your fucking brother.
Yeah, right. Dude, I remember going down to his house. Like, dude, I was at his house all the time for like 2 or 3 years straight. And dude, we used to do some fucked up shit at his house. I remember, he's probably laughing right now if he remembers this, but I don't even know who started this, but it's just like stupid teenage shit when you're like hanging out with all your buds and stuff. But we used to do this game where we would like hyperventilate ourselves and then like hold our breath, and we'd like fucking like make yourself pass out basically. But we'd be in his basement. So it was crazy. His house was always fucking wild, dude. It's like, so his parents lived there, and then they'd always have like people staying at their house. like people who were there trying to like, get into the country and stuff. And we'd just be like in the basement, like hanging out, just being obnoxious teenagers. And there'd be some like 60-year-old couple in the spare bedroom downstairs. Just like, who are these people? It was like always wild. But yeah, we would fucking hyperventilate ourselves and hold our breaths to like make yourself pass out. And we'd see who would like fall in the dumbest way.
Oh my God. That is so fucking crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not. Wait, we used to get drunk and roll down fucking hills because we had nothing better to do. So
that's probably like a fucking professional sport in Williamsport.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. And the high school had the best hills. Man, they were slow nights if we were fucking out rolling down hills.
That's awesome. I gotta turn up my fucking headphones here.
So,
all right, sorry, I was having some tech difficulties.
Tell us about your brunch.
Yeah. So,
and then I'm going to hit you. I came up with 2 bands, I think. But go ahead.
Okay.
Or do we want to hold on brunch and I hit you with your bands? You have. Oh fuck! I might have already forgot them.
Well, before you even mention your bands, I just want to say I've been thinking about bands that I love so much, and I thought a band that I want to talk about that I also realized I do not know a single song title of theirs at all. If you quizzed me, I would have no idea, but they're one of my favorite bands. And I just want to dedicate a little bit of time talking about them because I've been on a kick of theirs again the last couple weeks. But let's talk about how fucking awesome the Candy Snatchers are.
Oh my God, they're fucking phenomenal. Oh.
Like, I'm pretty certain you are the one who introduced me to them. And if that is the case, fucking many thanks to you for that, because dude, that band, I don't know. That band is something fucking special. I love the
they are fucking rock and roll. Like I'd like a pure rock and roll machine. Like they're fucking it's all, and it's alcohol driven fucking energy, which is so bizarre. Like Larry, from what I remember of him, he's fucking hammered like all the time.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I mean, I know the one cover of one of their records, he's just like all covered in blood. And,
yeah, that's that early one.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I fucking love that band. I couldn't name you one fucking song of that band, but I don't know. Yeah, they're just
that's
fucking
harder
amazing.
So that one would have been a hard one.
Like,
I don't even know if I could do it.
I don't even know if I can name albums. I know like I have Human Zoo.
Oh, well, you just named a fucking album, so you got
yeah, but that's the only one. Like because I have a CD that I was listening to yesterday that I'm pretty certain is a CD you made for me, like probably like 20 years ago. And it's like a CDR, and on it, I wrote on it, it just says Candy Snatchers Mega Comp. So I guess it's like a couple different albums on one.
So we ended up doing, I guess because he needed product, as Conformist, we did shirts for him.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
And we re-released or just burned out like maybe 50 CDs for him when he went on tour with Ironhead.
Oh, cool.
Like basically Ironhead was his band. Like it was basically Ironhead played 2 sets every night. It was like they'd play and then they'd play fucking Candy Snatcher songs.
That's gnarly.
Yeah. So, but he was a hot fucking, like I loved him. He was cool as hell, but it was definitely Drunken Fury. We actually, this is fucking stupid. Phil and I had this fucking, I don't know what the brain fart would be the best idea or best word to cover it is we went with them and they must have played with Electric Frankenstein.
Okay.
Maybe. Or maybe they had, but I kind of think they were, what's his name from like was there. Maybe they headlined, but whatever. So we're leaving New York. And Tadios, I can blame you for this dumb shit because you used to drive up there on a fucking whim. I'm like, who the fuck does that? And he's like, it's only 4 hours away. I'm like, okay. I guess it makes sense. So Phil and I had this fucking stupid idea. We were going to go up and we were going to watch the show. And then we drive home after the show was over. I think we actually had either some shit for them, either for Electric Frankenstein, or we had shit for the Candy Snatchers. So anyway, we watched the show. I forget where the fuck it was. I think it was the Colonial or somebody, the Continental, something like that. Phil, you will remember. But the highlight of the fucking trip was we got ready to leave and fucking got into, I think it's the Lincoln Tunnel, and traffic stopped dead. Oh, and we sat in the fucking Lincoln Tunnel till about 4 a.m, maybe 5. Like we sat for hours fucking in the car. And we couldn't make it home. Like I had to stop at a fucking rest stop and sleep for like an hour because we were so planned on getting home. And like at that time, I was such in a fucking sleep cycle where I would like conformist was like, what is that? The fucking candle that burns the fast or brightest burns out the fastest.
Yeah.
And fuck it. So we were on fire for a while. And it was like, I'd work, go home, hang out with Jen and the kids. And as soon as the kids went to bed, I went to my computer and worked till like 3 or 4 in the morning every morning. So I was in a rhythm where staying up all night wasn't a fucking big deal. But it was like, we got in that fucking tunnel and all of a sudden traffic just stopped. We were like, fuck. That was it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Well,
but yeah, it was like, worth it.
Being trapped in a tunnel for any reason is fucking horrible anyway.
Yeah.
Especially
and it was like
that early in the morning.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. I don't even remember what happened. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, anyway, I've been like rocking those guys the last couple weeks, and I don't know, I've just been on a Candy Snatchers kick, so I just wanted to give them some shout outs because that band is fucking awesome.
It's fucking pure energy. Like I get pumped up when I listen to that just because it's just, there's an intensity to it that doesn't always get conveyed in music, but they for some reason can push their energy into the recording and it comes out onto you. Like it is.
That's a great way to describe them. And it really like there's a lot of bands that capture their vibe in recordings, but they're definitely a band who do it better than most, I would say. Like, yeah, they're just, when you listen to that, it's just, it makes you can't help but not get fired up when you listen to any of their songs. It's just so raw emotion and like his singing style. And I don't like whatever.
Fucking Human Zoo, that one, the one that you're talking about, not the on the Mega Comp, I think is the one that was on Safe House for a while. And like those, I think there's like three awesome albums in a row. They might have put something out recently that I wasn't too stoked on, but
there's a dude, and I can't think of his name right now, but it's a guy who started following me on Instagram, and he's from Virginia Beach, and he's like big because that's where they're from, I'm pretty sure. And like he's like a big Candy Snatchers fan, and we kind of connected based on that. And we've had some like DM conversations and stuff a few times, but they actually still play. I think maybe like once a year they do a show, but I think from what he was saying, the singer is like the only like original dude still.
Yeah. Oh yeah, total. So the craziest shit was I think we were working on the Brides of Electric Frankenstein. So Phil got hooked up with Ironhead, which had I can't remember her name, and she played bass and sang. So I don't know, for some reason I was talking to her and oh my God, I can't remember anybody's names, but we were on the phone, like just shooting shit. I was working late. Like I was on a deadline, but I was bullshitting with them on the phone. And she's like, well, what's your favorite band? And I was like, at this moment, I was like, it's Candy Snatchers. She's like, no. And fucking Larry was in the room watching TV with them. Like it was like so fucking bizarre. It was like, holy shit. It was like, just one of those weird kind of quinky dinks.
Huh. Weird. So you didn't know who he was at that point?
No,
that's
I
funny.
didn't know it. Like I didn't. I mean, I knew they were from Virginia Beach, but I don't know. Like I don't know anything about the scene down there, and I don't know how intertwined the bands get. So yeah, it definitely caught me off guard. It was cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, like another. I mean, while we're talking about them, another cool story too. That this is probably one of my most epic record shopping days I've ever had in my entire life. But when we talked about that Metallica show last week when I went to in Copenhagen, and I always try to go record shopping when we go on vacation if I can. If there's any like good stores or whatever, and there was this record store in Copenhagen. I forget the name of it, but it was fucking awesome. They had so much shit, and I was looking in the punk section, and the guy who worked there, he came over to me and he was like, "Hey, like, what are you looking for anything specific?" I was like, not really. I was like, I'm just kind of looking and whatever. And he's like, we have another punk section that is like pretty much in so many words. He was like, we have a hidden section downstairs that we like will let select people go into based on like what you're like looking at in the upstairs part of the store. So it's almost kind of like if we get a vibe that you're like worthy enough to go to the downstairs section, we'll like take you down there. So I don't know. I mentioned a couple things I was looking for, and I whatever, like bottom line, I guess I like passed their like internal test of like, he's looking for cool shit. So they ended up like taking me downstairs into this record store, and the downstairs was only like you had to bend over to walk around downstairs. It was like really low ceiling.
Oh, wow.
And it was all these like fucking rows of records, and it was all their punk and hardcore section that was like super rare shit. And I still to this day I regret I didn't take a picture down there, because it would have been really cool just to like show what this looked like. But it was really dingy, and I was looking through all the records, and it was like basically like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like actually like finding the Ark of like vinyl record stores. They had the Exploited Jesus is Dead EP, but with the uncensored artwork on vinyl. It was like shit like that level. Like,
wow.
Like really rare. Like I had never even seen that before. So I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And the dude actually like stayed down there with me. And like, if I had questions, he would, cause like it was alphabetical, but I don't know. It was like kind of weird how it was laid off. So I'd be like, I'm kind of looking for this band. He'd be like, oh, well, you need to come over here and look here. So whatever. It was amazing. I didn't end up buying anything from the downstairs part, cause a lot of it was really expensive. But it was just cool to like see some shit. They had like a bunch of Minor Threat stuff. It was insane. It was just like if you were rich, you could fucking go in there and clean that place out. It would just be like the ultimate record store. But upstairs in the normal punk section, I ended up finding like 3 records I never thought I would find in the wild ever on that trip. I've got so I found the first Sloppy Seconds record, The Destroyed, which is on I found the Toxic Shock version, which is pretty rare to find. So finding that in the wild, that was huge. That was just great. And then as I kept looking, I ended up finding a Hogan's Heroes 12-inch. I forget the name of it actually, but
was it Built to Last, or was
not
it
Built to Last? It's the
Hogan's Heroes? Hogan's Heroes.
I think
like the one that has like I don't even know how to describe the cover.
It's like a crazy weird art piece on the cover or something. Yeah. So I got that, which was really cool to find that in the wild. And that's not something that's on like a list of things I'm looking for, but just to score that in the wild this day and age is like, whoa, I got to get this. That's too cool. But then the third thing I got, which I didn't even know existed on vinyl, is I got Candy Snatchers Human Zoo.
Oh, really?
And I remember
cool.
And it's on, it's a go-kart release of that. And I just remember flipping through the records and seeing that and literally getting like a jolt through my body, like a chill of like, oh my God, like I was like, I can't believe I fucking found a Candy Snatchers record in the wild. Like
Yeah, that's pretty
best
cool.
feeling ever. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to fucking talk about the Candy Snatchers a little bit today
That's all right. They're worth talking about.
because they're fucking awesome. So what do you remember that you said you had 2 bands or something?
No, I don't remember now. I did come up with a band that got fucking multi-level better the older they got.
Oh, nice. I can't wait to hear what
Ready?
that is. Yeah.
Ghoul.
I can't even join in
Fuck.
with you on that because I know of them and know some.
Oh my god. Well, you're the one
music.
that told me they were okay, and I made it like they were when I saw them with Guar, they fucking blew them out of the water. They didn't have the prop. Well, I mean, they have props and shit. And I heard somebody say, why would you come and do this when you were with Guar? But fuck, dude, they were so much better. Like
Yeah.
leaps and bounds better than Guar was. Though Gavin saw them on the Slumdogs, whatever anniversary, and said they were awesome. But he thought they were awesome that time when they saw them too. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But they are
Gavin-
just.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was
Ghoul,
just saying, they're fucking unbelievable.
I know, like I said, I've listened to them and I know about them and I've seen them, but they're not a band I have anything of that I can like check out really.
So this is awesome. I think it must have been last year, maybe for my birthday. I guess Amanda gave the kids shit because they never like Blythe's awesome and she actually cares. And the other two, they're like, happy birthday. Like,
Yeah.
But fucking Amanda guilted Gavin there because there's no way. But he ordered a copy of Dungeon Bastards on vinyl.
Okay.
And he was like, and he gave it to me as a present. I'm like, there's no fucking way you ordered this for me. I was like, just give me the fucking stickers and take the album. It's like, there's no fucking way you ordered this.
Damn.
Without somebody guilting you in
Yeah.
to make you feel
Fucking,
bad.
you got a guilt present, bro. You know, I think I talked about this with him when I was back last time or the time before, I forget, but kind of jealous of him a little bit just based on the fact that Guar's like one of my favorite bands. And it's just, I think we maybe talked about this before, but it's just been hard to get into them with the new singer guy. And he's like, Gavin's like all about him with him because that's all he knows.
Right.
So it's like, I wish I could have his mentality on like the continuing saga of Guar in my life, but it's just like, it's hard. It's hard to not have, it's hard to do Brockyless Guar. It's like, I can't.
Yeah.
can't do
I
it.
listened to it, the new one. I couldn't, it was, I don't know. Yeah. Props to him. Yeah. Oh, here's what I'm jealous of is today's show. Leeway was playing, This Is Hardcore's in Philly today or this weekend. But Terror, Leeway, and there's another band as part of this lineup. And like last night, I think Hatebreed played, and apparently Gavin stole the mic and got to do Under the Knife, and he was super
nice.
stoked. He came out this morning, so this is fucked up. Is they're 20, him and his friend are 20.
Uh-huh.
They rented a hotel room, but then in the fine print, they had to be 21 to be able to sign into the room.
Oh my God.
So they've been driving back and forth from Philly to here to Philly and back so they could see this fucking festival.
Oh my God.
And he came out this morning and he had, oh my God, he had ringworm girl shorts on. He was so fucking proud. I think if he jumped, his balls would have fell outside of him, but it was awesome.
I don't even know what are girl shorts?
So it'd be like, think of the 70s and girls in roller skate type attire, like with like the white trim on them.
Oh, like Ashton Kutcher shorts.
Yes.
From that 70s show.
Yes. And so he rolled out this morning. Like I saw it on Instagram that they were showing all this fucking merch they had. And he rolled out this morning and he had these fucking nut cutters on. And I was laughing
Oh
my
my God.
ass
Why
off.
did he buy those of all merch items?
I think he's bought a lot of shit. It was even funnier as I opened up the trash can and whatever shirt he bought, he'd already ripped the sleeves off of. That's fucking awesome.
Dude, I don't know. I guess it's just we're at that point where we have to vicariously live through them or something, because it's like there's a part of me that misses like having the youth and energy for an adventure, like driving back and forth to go to a show. They were that committed, but like the me of now is just like I would never fucking do that.
I'm too fucking lazy. I'm
like
totally
there'd
too
have
lazy.
to be some like serious fucking like levels of bands I want to see more than anything else for that to happen.
It kind of was, or I mean, it's on a pretty good level. Like I'm trying to think who all played. And they didn't go to the pre-show, which H2O played.
Okay.
So they went in I'm trying to think of the Friday lineup. Like it was all sick. It wasn't like a bunch of crap, not crap, but like it wasn't a ton of bands you'd never heard of. Like they were all like even like upper level, how do you want to say it? Like tier 2 bands to tier 1.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a local show. It was like the bigger local show that you had the headliner for, that the headliner was part of the warm-up crew.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool, man. There's a lot of seems like the East Coast has been getting a lot more cooler things going on than were happening like when we were younger, like the Maryland Death Fest now. Like that would have been cool if that was happening when we were young. I mean, you wouldn't care as much about that, but I don't know. You probably still would have at least went to it just to do something.
There's been a couple times where there were bands that borderline crossover that played. I was like, fuck, I should be there.
Yeah.
But I'm lazy. Once again, lazy. We were talking, and I was telling Amanda about when you guys played the Jersey Metal Fest.
Yeah.
And the fact that, when did you guys play? What time?
Like what time of day?
Yeah.
It was like 6 or 7-ish, but the one thing I do remember is that we were playing at the exact same time as Testament. So we had like no chance of anybody actually watching us.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. Because I remember the fucking thing started early. Because like we watched the Dead Kids or whatever they were with their dad. Do you remember them? They're like a fucking death metal band. It was like they were brothers, and they were like, I don't know, young. Gene, tell us how young they were, but they're young. Like, I don't even think they were teens. And they were the fucking bass and guitar, or maybe the dad played guitar and they played drums and bass. Anyway, it's some sort. Actually, I think the
wait, this was at the Metal Fest?
Yeah,
like the New Jersey Metal Fest.
Yeah, the one you guys played at.
I don't remember this band at all.
And they played, and they were pretty awesome. That was the first time I saw Dillinger. Like I was all amped up to see him. Because I read a blurb about him. Like it was just like, for some reason, whoever wrote that article or that little blurb, they hooked me. Like it was like, I have to see this. And I'm fucking stoked I saw it, because that's where I kind of, like, I guess fell in love with them.
Yeah.
And then when SOD played, and I was like, oh, it was so sad Billy Milano's voice blew out like fucking 3 or 4 songs in.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, I remember walking through one of the main halls there, and there was like a shit ton of people. And I just remember him like walking by me, and I was like, holy fuck, like that was Billy Milano. And I was like, definitely like starstruck. I was like, holy shit. Like, I can't believe I actually just saw him in person. Like that was amazing. The other thing, that's crazy you bring that up too. One of the other things I remember of that, I don't know if you remember this or not, but we were walking. I don't know if you were like in the area when this happened, but we were walking through this hallway. It's like the main corridor, like linking all the rooms up. There's like tons of people. It's like all these people. And I remember walking, and they used to have porn stars at that thing. And Jasmine St. Clair, I remember she was like coming towards us. I don't know if I was with Gene at the time or what, but she came walking towards us, and there's like tons of people around. And I don't know, like But I was like, oh my God, that's like Jasmine St. Clair. That's crazy. And she came like walking like right by us. And then we like kept walking. And all of a sudden I felt my ass get pinched and I fucking turned around. It was her.
That is fucking funny.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I remember she just kind of like smiled at me. And I was like, I just remember being like, why out of all the people that were around did she like pick me out to do that?
She heard you. She knew that you knew who she was.
I don't know. It was weird. I think about that from time to time. Like, yeah, it's like, what was it about me that she picked me out to do that? I don't know.
Because you're a hot piece of ass.
Yeah, it's not that though. That's what I don't understand.
20 Karens agree you're a hot piece of ass.
Did you say 20 Karens?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I forget what the kids in the hall used to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't Karen though, but that was the only name I could come up with off the top of my head. Helen's actually, I think is what it was.
Helen's?
Yeah, I think it was like 20 Helens agree, and it was something fucking stupid.
I do remember that skit. I can't think of the name though. Yeah, that's funny. Fucking dude, I know we talked about Kids in the Hall a few weeks back, but the fucking the Eradicator, that's still like the best skit
Eradicator
ever. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So good. But yeah, so my lunch today or my brunch today, Trisha and I, we went to get brunch with a friend of ours that we actually haven't seen him in almost probably like 3 years. It's been like before COVID and stuff. And he's like a really good friend of ours, but I don't know. He's kind of like one of those friends that you're really close to, but for whatever reason, you only see them like every couple of years. Like,
yeah,
it just works out that way. He's like super busy guy and I don't know, whatever. But the whole reason I even wanted to bring this up is because he told me something today that I never fucking knew about. It's like every time I'm around him, he always has some new little funny anecdote about his life. But he lived in Europe for a couple years in the 90s, and he was traveling around just like backpacking, and he would like bartend at places and stuff for like a couple months. As one would
do.
Yeah, just like he like went to Europe. He like got off. He was like in Spain. He like took a train to Portugal, and on the train to Portugal, he like met this like older lady who asked him like where he was, like what he was doing in Portugal. He's like, I don't know. I'm just like traveling around. And she like offered him to stay at her house for $1 a day. So he ended up like living at this fucking lady's house for like $1 a day. And he ended up getting a bartending job in Portugal for like 9 months, saved a bunch of money. And then he left and just backpacked around Europe for like 2 years. But he went glacier hiking in Austria.
Nice.
And there was so like him and this buddy of his, they were like hiking down this glacier, and they get to this section where there's like all these ropes, and it's like basically you can't enter here unless you're like an expert climber. Like, don't fucking come in here, whatever. So they're just like, oh, whatever, like we'll be fine. He's like, I grew up in Montana, like skiing and stuff since I've been 3 years old. I can totally like, I know what I'm doing. So they like go walking into this area that's like all blocked off. He ends up like breaking through the fucking ice. And luckily, like when he like broke through, like something about the hole that he fell into, like stopped him at his chest, and he got like wedged in.
Oh my God.
So his friend that was with him, like luckily this dude was there, because like, dude, he like might've died. Like, you know, cause like glaciers, if you break through, there could be like a giant crevasse underneath or whatever.
Some of us say crevice. Some of us say crevasse.
Crevasse.
Fucking fancy.
But so anyway, his friend's with him. He fucking pulls him out. And no sooner than his friend pulls him out, these fucking dudes like pull up on snowmobiles and are just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be in here. And I mean, arrest isn't probably the right word, but they basically like took them. And I don't know if they went back down to like the main building of this place or whatever, or they did it on the spot, but they like took their ID. they like scanned all their IDs and stuff. And so this is the whole point of the story is now he is the only person I've ever met in my life has a lifetime ban from a glacier.
Oh shit.
So he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, they fucking banned me from life. He's like, I can't ever go to this glacier in Austria ever again. They like have my picture on file and like they have all my information. So if I ever show up there and they like would suspect I'm that dude, like I would be in like major trouble.
Nice. That's fucking ridiculous.
So anyway, it's not that super interesting of a story, but
I thought it was going to be like Skeeter. It's like the song on like when Melvins did the solo albums.
Mm-hmm.
And like the last song on Buzzes is like this thing. And I think it's Dave Grohl talking about it. And like the end, like the guy hooks up with this woman, blah, 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 blah. And the punchline is does that look like, is that pus? He's like, no, it looks like lint. And it was all coming off his dick.
Oh my God.
I thought that's where the story was going to go.
No. So maybe a lot of build up for not that epic of a story, but I was just like, I thought that was fucking hilarious that now I know someone who got banned from a glacier. Like,
how? Jesus Christ. That's fucked.
like how many people do you know have been banned from a glacier?
Oh my God. Yeah. Probably none.
Yeah.
Probably none.
But anyway, super interesting dude. And yeah, it was fun to catch up with him today. And yeah, definitely drank too much at lunch.
That's
but,
all right.
Yeah.
Was it after 12? Well, if it's brunch, that opens it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's the first time I drank in a while. So, and I'm still drinking. I decided to keep drinking.
Is
today.
that a Sapporo?
No, it's I don't know. Here.
Oh my God.
Jose.
You
Cuervo,
are Jose. Oh my, light margarita.
margarita.
Manly.
6% alcohol by volume, though. Take that.
And you'll be
bitch.
following it up with a spritzer.
Bong rip.
No, that's just the can the Sapporo used to come in.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying. Gotcha. Well, other than the Candy Snatchers, I had nothing to talk about today at all. So I hope you have some shit to talk about.
What?
I'm useless.
Oh my God. Are you fucking serious?
It's your fucking turn to come up with a
No,
topic.
motherfucker. I did it last week. No, you did. Shit.
No, I did. Yeah, bitch.
Oh my God.
Fucking try to pawn that shit off on me, motherfucker.
Well, I kind of thought the ghoul conversation went a little bit fucking further. You kind of broke my heart.
Sorry. Yeah, and like I said, I like that band, what I've heard of them, but I don't know that much about them.
Yeah.
They were cool when I saw them. I really liked them.
They were badass.
Because they
Actually,
wear
they
the
put-
mask, right? Like the butcher's
like that.
mask or whatever.
Mhm. They put out a live album. It must have been from the Guar tour that we saw them on.
Yeah.
And it's fucking dude. So I know that I shat on live albums.
Yeah,
but
you did.
that fucking album's really good. And I could only wish I was a third of as clean and as skilled of a player as they are. Like that shit was tight live. I don't think it was multiple shows cut up. It was the set. And it was
Gotcha.
like tight.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. Well, I never had that goal. And now that I'm old, I'm like, yeah, that would have been nice if we were super tight and did some good shit, but
Did
it's
some
all
good
right.
shit. Well, I can tell a Guar story really quick. I don't know if I ever told you this or not, but so I did that like sculpture years ago of ball sack. Do you remember that ball sack
Yeah.
sculpture I made?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty certain it was Justin and I went to see Dave Brocky Experience. And I think it was Justin. It might have been Matt. I can't remember because all three of us were sort of into them. And I know I went to different shows with those guys. But anyway, we went to see DBX and I took that ball sack sculpture with me because I wanted Mike Dirks to sign it. And anyway, I remember we were down in this area. I forget what club it was. It was in DC, I think. And whatever, there was like an upstairs where the bands played and there was like pool tables downstairs. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, we were downstairs hanging out and Brocky was shooting pool. And I remember us watching him shoot pool. And I just thought that was hilarious to like, you know, because whenever Guar would play, like you would never see those guys out mingling really. So with like DBX, you know, those guys were all out and about and you could kind of like approach them and stuff. Well, I remember seeing Mike Dirks walk by, he was ball sack, and he walked by the pool tables. And I saw him go into the bathroom and I was just like, oh, like I hadn't seen him like all evening. So I was like, oh, this might be my one chance to like, at least be like, approach him and just be like, hey, like, you know, whatever, I have this sculpture I'd like you to sign. So I don't know. I guess just in my mind, I hadn't even thought that I should probably like wait till he comes out of the bathroom. I was just like, I should like, I got to get him, strike while the iron's hot. So I remember like going in the bathroom and he's like at a urinal pissing. And I actually did have to piss. So I like walked up like a couple urinals away from him and started pissing. And I looked over and I was just like, hey dude, I was like, how's it going? And he's just like, hey man, like, how's it going? And
then he pissed on your shoes.
No, he didn't piss on my shoes, but I was like, hey, this is kind of like a weird question to ask right now. It's like, but I have a sculpture that I made of your ball sack character. Could you sign that for me? And in retrospect, that was probably like the worst time to like try to like ask someone something like that. But
well, so at least you didn't say a sculpture of your ball sack.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't even say anything. And he looks over at me and he goes, yeah, man, that's cool. He's like, but can we wait till we're done pissing? And I was just like, yeah, man, that's cool. I was like, sorry. He's like, no, it's cool. He's like, and it was a funny, like awkward moment. And then, yeah, he was cool about signing it and he was all stoked on it. He's like, yeah, this is really cool, man. But so yeah, I still have that. And he like signed the back of it. But yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. I always remember that. I remember
you having the fucking head. You made the helmet too.
Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to that. It was at Gabe's. I left it at Gabe's house when I moved out here. And I think it stayed at Gabe's forever. And then I don't know whatever. I think it was probably long gone, even like before he passed away and stuff. But I don't know whatever happened to it. But that thing was cool.
No, it was fucking cool. I remember, I think it must have been when you guys were getting ready to move or something that I saw it.
Yeah.
Or you had it at Justin's for some reason.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's when I had my grand scheme that was going to start a Guar tribute band.
Oh my God.
They're trying to make all the costumes.
So I've been thinking about it. And I'm thinking we need to do the Misfats Dose.
Yeah.
And we do the latter albums.
Famous Munchers.
Favorite. And all I got already blanked on it. I had two already that I am ready to go with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm not gonna have to think about it. Fuck. You would have thought, and I'm not the one drinking.
Yeah.
That I would have remembered the ones. But it was like all of a sudden it clicked in my head and I'm like, fuck yes. It was like this one, something's about one of them's about Taco Bell. And then, what was the other? Well, I can't get I can't even say it, pumpkin bread out of my head. Like I think that's just too easy. But it can be, but it's so fucking perfect.
Pumpkin bread. Damn. Oh, dude, hold on. Keep talking.
You get so really. I'm trying to think. The Taco Bell one. It wasn't Helena. Oh my God. It's killing me. It was like on the top of my tongue, but it was like something like popped into my head and I was like, Taco Bell. Oh my God, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, I just pulled the pulled the Famous Monsters vinyl, so let's fucking go through this. I want to do this right now. Let's come up with some songs.
All right. What's the first one? That's not Lost in Space. What is it?
No.
I gotta do Famous Mon. I gotta look it up on my phone. So you're not holding all the cards.
Pumpkin bread.
I'll make myself laugh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling very clever right now, but I'm enjoying looking at these song titles.
Okay, so what's the next? What's the first song?
Kong at the Gates. Well, that's like the
that's
intro
a
thing.
Fucking intro. That don't count.
Yeah, the Forbidden Zone.
No, that's not one. And I'd have to think of
Lost in Space.
Yeah, that's not it.
Dust to Dust.
No.
Crawling Eye.
No, but that was one I thought would be a good one to do.
All right. Witch Hunt.
No, that's a good one too.
Scream.
No, I hate that song.
We got to do Saturday Night.
Oh my God, that's so horrible.
I love Saturday Night.
You are so lame.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead. Pumpkin Bread. Scarecrow
Pumpkin
Man.
Bread. No, that one I don't like that one either.
Die Monster Die.
No, but we'll have to think of one for that because that shit would be awesome. Maybe what's the first one? Not Dig Up Her Bones. Stop, bitches.
American Psycho is the first album with the second singer.
It's not American Psycho, but I think maybe it is off of that. Oh my God, you guys are suffering. Hey, before I get lost and I forget this shit, thank you, California, for fucking downloading shit. So
who are you people?
Who are you people? Hit us up on the website. So we had a bet that within the first 6 months, we would have 50 people listen to this shit. And last week, in the Cool Gym episode, which went for fucking 3 hours, we already have 100 downloads, which in podcast world, I know that's not a shit ton, but
in Potty Mouth world.
In Potty Mouth world. Thank you for making us the #1 podcast regarding Potty Mouth Records. We are fucking #1 kids, coast to coast, crushing it. It is so fucking bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I know I live in California, but the amount of listeners in California outweighs the amount of listeners in Maryland, and I don't understand that at all because I have friends out here, but I don't have like 100 friends that care about what I do.
So Cinnamon Toast would be a good one for the Crimson Ghost. Oh. I think we actually talked about that way back when.
Never going to eat me. Never going to eat me. Because I'm Cinnamon Toast.
Oh, shit. That'll be awesome. So look for that coming up. Once you sober up, you start working on playing guitars. Or I guess getting, what is it? Our drum. I forget what the fucking program's called.
What are some other American Psycho songs?
Speak of the Devil, Walk Among Us. That was a good one. The Hunger, They Came from Hell, Dig Up Her Bones, Blacklight. I don't even, what the fuck's Blacklight?
I don't like that. I like Dig Up Her Bones though. How would you change that into a food title?
Oh my God. Oh, you're putting me on a spot.
That's fine.
Because the one I came up with, is it The Shining?
I don't know.
It is The Shining.
Yeah.
That the course was going to have something about Taco Bell, The Feast is Calling or something.
Oh, yeah, I know it's like
Taco Bell, Oh my God, it would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. I guess the key is for you need to pick out which songs you want to write the lyrics to, and then like I'll just figure out how to play them. I mean, there's definitely a couple songs that I definitely would really like to do, but I'm kind of open for whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we can cheat, and I can Melodyne so my voice actually sounds right, but my fucking Melodyne will not load on this computer.
Oh, you never figured it out?
No, and I got it, like it came free with Studio One, like the shit version, and they don't talk. It makes me sad. And I'm my production video guy. My mind is blown on the amount of levels in detail that some music is that thought is put into some other music that's made. Like my head cannot get around the depth. My head, like the depth. Like it's changed the way I listen to like fucking music that they play at Chipotle. Like I actually start breaking the shit down in my head.
Dude, I totally know what you mean. It's like, honestly, that's really funny because I get where you're coming from with that, because that's like the musical equivalent of being a skateboarder. Once you're a skateboarder, it's like you never look at the world the same ever again.
Absolutely not. Everything, I look everywhere to look for skatable spots.
Yeah, like how would I, even stuff that is like impossible to skate, you're like, if that was turned 90 degrees, I could skate that. Like people don't realize how much of a sickness that is in your adult life. It's like you can never not look at anything in the world as like is it a skate spot somehow. It's honestly, it's kind of annoying sometimes.
It totally is. It's funny is like you saying that, like there's like an industrial park near Bel Air, and it's like I've seen it, and it's got little like I used a lot of likes in this statement. If we were younger and I was with the Turners on a Friday night and we weren't rolling down hills, we would have been fucking skating like this spot. Like there's so many cool hips. It's just the terrain is all over the place, and it's just like, yes, this would have been badass.
Yeah, dude. I mean, shout out to all the skaters listening, because you fucking know what we're talking about. That shit, it's such a blessing and a curse to view the world through a skateboarder's eyes. So it's like sometimes I wish I could look at shit. I mean, like, honestly, dude, when we were walking through Pompeii, I was like, oh, that's a fucking sick ledge. I'm like, dude, no one else in Pompeii is thinking about skating ledges except for like fucking skateboarders. Like, it's annoying. It's like, I want to be like,
my God,
embracing history and thinking about like history shit. I'm thinking about like grinding a fucking marble ledge in Pompeii. It's like, that's fucked up.
So in the world that we deal with, I guess, architecture and shit like that, and then we have to deal with the people that actually make it. It is incredible. Like the contract, they go, how are we going to build that? I was like, dude, I built ramps harder than this. It's like, it's not fucking complex. Like the depth of knowledge, I guess, that came with that whole learning, about the transitions and cutting it, and, the process that happened, I guess, us building them and, designing them over time. It's like, there's shit. It's like people can't, that the contractors will come back and like, how are you going to build this? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And like, I look at Dustin, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Because Dustin's mind's blown too. He's like,
yeah,
dude, we did this as kids.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like Dustin's perfect too. It's like he gets that, just being a skateboarder. And it's like, yeah, it's like, I think it's funny for us to think about anybody ever saying it can't be done, because it's like, give us a fucking sheet of plywood and we will fucking like make something skatable somehow.
Yes.
It's like, give me one nail and a sheet of plywood and I will fucking figure out how to make a ramp that's skatable. Oh
my God. It's so funny. Like when I would live with Toots, like that was before, I guess, Dustin and them had built their launch ramp or their quarter.
Uh-huh.
And so like my thought process was completely different. It was more about angling the 2x4s and like taking them up on like, what do you want to say? Just on like every so many feet, kick it another couple degrees, couple degrees. And
that was like the old style way of building ramps, how they would like angle 2x4s before they started cutting like templates in plywood.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it was. It was like that progression. I mean, it worked. They were fucking skatable. It's just,
Yeah, that's like kind of like that's more like late 70s, early 80s style like ramp building before it was like taking like just scrap wood you had in your backyard and just seeing what you could like make out of that somehow. But yeah,
Oh
but
my.
anyway, back to what you were originally saying with I get what you're saying about thinking about music in that way. It's like you can't not break it down to like how did they like what are the instruments and like how did they mix that and like how many tracks are there? It's like it's a fucking sickness sometimes, dude.
It like this guy that like Amanda's suffering through the videos with me as well. I mean, I'm enjoying it because I'm learning a ton of shit. Not that I'll ever be able to do it, and none of the bands that we work with would ever do that. Be at that level that we worry about it.
Yeah.
But like, there's like because he has, and we talked about it on an earlier episode about the kind of squiggly line of building up interest in the song. So adding little pieces and parts every so often. But he's got his chorus. He's got one vocal, and then he's got left and right like backing vocals, like I like 6 different tracks, like where it's just all over the place, and he's doing like different pitches, and I'm like, fuck, what are you talking about? And it's so smart, like because I've like when I was doing stuff on my own, I was like trying to figure out like how I could get like punches, like when you come out of like a slow part or out of your heavy part and you want like a punch that starts into the chorus or something. I'm like, how the fuck, like I can never like achieve that. And he's got like fucking like cymbal swells and stuff that run in and out. So when he hits to the chorus, it's like there's a punch there because like the cymbals in the background, it's building and it hits and then it rings out. So it adds like this impact to wherever that verse or chorus is. I'm like, fuck. I was like, that's brilliant. I was like, never would have thought of it.
That shit's cool, but it's like you're saying, it's like more than I would probably like. Honestly, my last little solo record I did, it took me like 2 years to write and record that. And I ended up like having my friend David mix that for me. And it was definitely the most involved musical project I've had in a really long time, maybe ever. And I was just talking to Justin the other day and I told him like, I had a lot of fun making that. I'm really proud of that release, but the next thing I'm going to do is not going to be a full length. It's going to be like an EP. And I think especially with a lot of the shit I've been listening to lately anyway, I'm kind of been thinking like maybe some newer stuff I'm going to write is going to be a little more like lo-fi anyway. And I'm just like, I just want to do some really simple songs that don't take long to record. And like, I honestly don't even care if they sound that great. Cause like the last one I was trying to be so meticulous about the sound and it paid off. I think it is a really good recording, but I don't know. It's too much. There's like finding that balance between making it sound good, but also just like not being a fucking OCD weirdo either.
So what the funny thing is, and I find it most entertaining about these videos is this is the medium production. Like,
oh, wow.
There's a simple and a medium and the big, and the big's like more like band, like bass, drums, guitars, vocals, blah, blah, blah. This medium as it is, I think there are 40 fucking chapters in this piece, right?
I'm already out.
Oh my God. And like he brought a cello guy in to kind of do some accents and stuff. And it all turned out awesome. And it was really good to hear the dialogue back and forth between them and the thought process. I mean, I think that's what I like the most about it.
Yeah.
It's just, and I think it goes with most of the shit that she and I watch is like, there's a thought process. It's like, how does that thought process work? Or like, how do you arrive at wherever, when you take that bus, you get there. That's a little Fear of the Black Hat quote for you.
Nice. Awesome. Dude, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Oh my God.
Well, speaking of recording techniques, and you mentioned your stuff, I want to talk about Tusk for a minute.
Oh my God.
And how upset I am that it hasn't like seen the light of day yet. Curtis has a solo project he started a few years back called Tusk, and it's
it's sad.
It's criminally underrated. It needs to see the light of day. I think Tusk is really good, dude.
It's horrible.
It's not horrible though.
But now with my renewed vision with this, my production courses, I do want to go back.
Ooh,
Trish, be quiet.
That
Fuck,
was
dude,
her.
I'm talking here. I want to go back and start like analyzing it and like breaking it apart. And I guess we've always written stuff, and you just said that this last record took you a couple years, but I guess I was always ready. I guess this could be our topic, is the songwriting process that we go through.
Yeah.
At this Potty Mouth Records place we talk about.
Yeah.
Because I guess, I just have it in my head that I have to be fucking done. Like, for some reason in my head, there's a deadline.
Okay.
Like, there's always, I need to see the end. Like, and I guess the course is kind of like, he's talking about weeks and months working on a song. I'm like, who the fuck does that? And I think I'm the odd man out that's like, no, it's got to be done in 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, because when we wrote songs, how many times did, and in any of the bands, did it take more? What I know some songs did. What percentage of the songs only took one practice to fucking hammer out?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think like if the Craven Moorheads had like 25 songs, I'd say 3 or 4 of them took more than 1 or 2 practices to like flesh out.
Yeah, I totally agree. And maybe that's what I'm missing with Tusk, is the influence of other people. And Matt was always awesome.
That's
I'm just saying, is like Matt was always good at like, and you two were always on a fucking vibe where you could, once we started playing something, you knew where we knew where we were going. It wasn't formulaic, but we all kind of understood where we wanted it to go within. Once it started rolling, we knew what we wanted to do.
Yeah. I mean, we were all speaking the same language. Definitely. Yeah. I think you nailed it though. There is a huge difference in writing stuff by yourself than with like a band. That's one thing I've noticed doing my own thing, is when it's just you, that's way different than when you're working with other people, because it's way easier to be critical of your own shit, because it's like you're the only opinion. So you're being like extra hard on yourself. And I can't tell you the amount of times, at least, I mean, I'd say on the last one I did, there was 10 songs, and I'd say 6 of those wrote themselves pretty easily, and there wasn't a whole lot of thought involved, but there was 4 of them that I definitely was like, bunches of parts changed multiple times before I was like, this is the version that feels right. And that's not something I ever would have done with like any band I've ever been in with other people.
Right. So with that, like, even writing the song, so to me the process is totally fucking changed with the computer, where now, do you take it and when you write it and then you get it into the computer, are you like, I'll move it around? Or do you hammer it out before it even goes in? Like, do you have everything kind of dialed in, part per part per part per part? You know exactly how it's going to go before you start recording it? Or is it like, I'm going to lay down this track, listen back, am I vibing on it? And then, do you build it in the computer, or is it all built outside and then you bring it in?
No, for me, it's always built outside. Like I've gotten to the point where I know there's like a small list of criteria that has to be met for me to know if a song's even worth pursuing. And the two main factors are how does the idea come to me? Like how does it hit? Like it sounds so fucking woo woo and cheesy, but like if a song doesn't come to me sort of like almost like in a mystical way where it's like it just.
Yes, I just rolled my eyes, everybody.
Yeah, but no, I roll my eyes too, but it is really true. Like if there might be a day where I have like no intention of like doing anything music related or like trying to write a song, and like something will just pop in my head, like a riff pattern or like a couple words or something. And I'll be like, that's like, I kind of like that. And I'll pick up my guitar and just strum a couple random chords. And if just like, if it clicks within like minutes, then I'm like, this is something worth pursuing. And then I'll like maybe construct the verse and chorus kind of riffs, flush out some lyrics. And then I'll have like phone recordings of, cause I have a little 4-track on my phone where I can do like kind of rough shit. And I'll have like kind of like a whole song figured out before I ever put anything into the computer. And then at that point, that's when I'll either play drums myself or build drums, play bass. So like I'll have like guitar riffs, drum parts of the song and lyrics, but I might not have bass lines. So I'll build bass lines in the computer. I'll build keyboard parts in the computer. But like, yeah, the songs are usually fully written before I get them into the computer. But yeah, there's like definitely if a song, if it takes me more than like 20 minutes to come up with a core idea of a song, I usually abandon it. Because I know if I got to work longer than 20 minutes, half hour on something, it's not something that's going to be good, in my opinion.
So that's like for me on this side in the magical Tusk, like Easy Drummer is a fucking godsend.
Yeah.
Like it's, and I spend more time figuring out the drums. And I guess this is where I was pushing back towards Matt was I spend more time trying to build the song in the drums before I even start writing. Like I'm trying to set like tempo and like my breakdowns. Cause I know my counts. I know the structure in my head. I mean, I have a basic structure, I guess a formula that I look at, and if it pans or goes away, it's fine. But like, it takes like me building the drums out because I seriously miss that aspect of jamming with somebody where somebody's like, yeah, we can do this or do that. Like
Yeah.
I'm like going through fucking drum loop after drum loop after drum loop. I mean, and there's the cool one, whatever the urgy tone shit. Did I send them to you? Those things are fucking badass.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I played for you here where they do like the hardcore breakdown. Like the drums are more attuned to what I'm used to listening to and dealing with than a lot of the easy drummer stuff is. I mean, they have some cool stuff and I still use a shit ton of it. But like when I actually sit down, like I'm usually going through the urgy tones, like because they have the hardcore and they have like doom and death metal. And it's like, and Tusk is more doom. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's so bizarre
like,
for
it's
me.
A weird goth doom band.
So I am a sucker for strings. So that guy, I love fucking strings in music. I don't know why. Like there's something very fucking appealing about that and the thought process. So to see that guy bring in a cello was really cool. And you listen to, oh my God, this is so fucking stupid. But the English Antiques Roadshow, like I break that down now when I'm listening to the intro music, because it's like, when they bring stuff in and how they bring it in. and then what repeats and what doesn't. Yet what's the hook? Which was awesome is that guy preached the hook, and I think he missed it because the cello player came in and did this little like solo, and it was the hook. Like to me, and he brought it in like after like 3 videos later, it got in his head, but like I would have used a shit ton more of it than he did because it worked. But it was just like I'm yelling at the fucking phone while I'm watching this video. It's like, you're missing the fucking hook. It is right there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the part that hooks me. Not that other shit. I mean, the other stuff does, but I was like, you're missing it.
Yeah.
And like I look at like what I write and I'm like, I don't know if there's any hooks in it. Actually, there are a couple. Like the one Blythe and I did together. I like I'll get pissed because Fernando will send me a song. I'm like, motherfucker, I should be writing songs. and so I'll go back and listen to see if I still approve of Tuscanaut. And like there's one that Blythe and I did together. And I just used her as like in the background, and I fucking love it. She knows all the lyrics, which is so bizarre. Like I don't have any concept, but
dude,
yeah,
I hope she eventually does something more like a real band, because dude, she is like a really good fucking singer, man.
Her and Gavin both. I don't know where the fuck they get it from.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Definitely not like taking anything away from Gavin. I mean, but like, you know, he's like a fucking awesome vocalist, but like she really can like sing though. Like actually sing.
Yeah, it's weird. I think she has a good voice for certain things. Well, in what I listen to, she has a good voice for those things. Yeah, it's totally funny.
It's unique. She has a unique voice, but I think if she like got in the right band, I think it would like really be awesome.
You know, it's so funny. You know, like I kept all my equipment, so hopefully, like one day somebody would take up the fucking mantle and rise forth and fucking go with it.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see, I guess in a way Gavin's done that.
Yeah.
But definitely. I've like always tried to do that. Like just try to open them up. It's like, dude, you could do this. You don't have to fucking, it's like, I will help you get there. Just, you know, cause when you take that bus, you get there, but you need the bus. And it was like, I always try to get them into stuff, but it's got to be on their terms.
Yeah.
No, and maybe someday she'll be like into it, but she's so deep into the K-pops now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she'll go down a route like that or something, but
oh my Lord, that'd be crazy.
But dude, yeah, I totally hear you on the strings thing though. I mean, back to that. Cause when I don't know, when I did my first record, I was like, man, I don't know. I was just in such a mindset. Cause like the band that my friend Brian and I do, Beevil, that we've been doing for years. When we first started that band, our whole thing was, cause we were in that band, Let 'Em Rot together. And we had like stopped doing that band. And that band was just like strictly kind of like D-beat, thrash punk kind of stuff. And we were like, whatever our next band is, like our whole goal was like, there would never be rules with the band. Like we can, if we want to write a country song, we can write a country song. We can write a metal song. We can write a metal song. It was just like, there was nothing we couldn't do. That was like the only rule that we had. And I don't know, sort of adopting that philosophy and just like getting into using keyboards a lot more in that band. That got me more into when I started doing my solo stuff. It's like, well, I'm definitely going to have keyboard shit. And one of the things that I really enjoy doing is adding like an octave cello accompaniment to my bass lines in some of my recordings. And like some of it's like really subtle. You might not even like really pick up on it, but if you listen for it, you can like hear it in there. There's a setting on my keyboard. It's called like angelic strings. And nice. It's like, it backs up a lot of my bass tracks. Yeah.
So and that was funny you bring that up because he did the same thing with the cello. Is he kind of took and underran a fucking bass, like simple bass notes. It wasn't as complex as what the cello was playing.
Yeah.
But it like just filled it out and made it like this more robust sound.
Yeah, filling space. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so like that process.
That's cool. Well, when we eventually get Justin on here, that might be like a cool topic to pursue when he's on, because he's like the one other person I think that is, and well, that's not necessarily true. There's probably a couple other people who we probably eventually will have on who are also into like home recording, but I would definitely say that the three of us are probably the people that I know who are most into home recording and have been for like a number of years now. Because his recordings have gotten like, I mean, all his recordings are definitely good, but they've been getting a lot better on the last, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 that he's done. They're always improving, but I think that's the cool thing about home recording is you're always, no matter what you do, you're always improving.
And it's right there.
Yeah.
And I think that was what, I mean, the best thing about it was it's there and you could go up and do it. And, but like I said, my downfall is it has to be complete. Like I rush myself through stuff.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I did that to myself on this last one where I beat myself up over stuff way too much, because the problem is I pretty early on, I sort of had a feeling that what I had recorded so far was better than anything I had done. And that put like unnecessary pressure on me to sort of keep that level of intensity going through the rest of the recording, where I was like, okay, I've established that the rough tracks sound this much better than anything I've done so far. It's like, I know I can get it to like this whole other level if I keep like doing even more intense scrutiny of things. And I wouldn't say that like took the fun away. It definitely put me in a different mindset of being a little more anal with stuff I maybe normally wouldn't be that anal, but what was really satisfying is I did put a lot of extra time in, more than I would have on anything else. But when I handed the rough stuff over to my friend David, who mixed it, and all the things, and like, he's like an actual like recording engineer. Like he went to like actual school to do this stuff. And when I gave him my rough mixes, like some of the things he told me about my rough mixes, like made me feel really good about how much time I had put in. Cause he's like, dude, these are like, he's like, everything you've given me has been like so amazing and easy to work with. Like, I'm really going to be able to sculpt this into something like really fucking cool.
That's awesome.
It was definitely like, okay, it made me feel a little better about being so anal, but I also kind of never want to go down that route ever again. I feel like it's cool. Like I had one album that I really spent a lot of time on, and we really teched out and made it sound super sick. But so I had that experience, and now I'm completely cool with never having that experience ever again. It's like I want to go back to making everything sound like it was recorded through a fucking telephone.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And like I said, that's what drives me nuts with the kids, that they could clean up a lot of the stuff they do, and they don't, because they don't want that sound.
Yeah.
What is it? Listening to on your $2,000 stereo.
Yeah. Exactly.
On that album that recorded in fucking 4 tracks and beer spilled all over everything.
Yeah, exactly. Piss break.
All right, go get them, Tiger.
It's time for an official Potty Mouth Podcast potty break.
What in the fuck? There's a lot of fucking misfit shit, like newer, that I've never listened to, and I don't think
like
I ever
the
will.
Devil's Rain and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was just looking. I'm like, what? I can't do that.
Devil's Rain is Jerry Only singing. It's not that good.
Oh my God.
It's kind of not good at all. I mean, music, to be fair, musically, it's not so horrible, but like, I don't like Jerry Only's voice at all, but that's just me.
Oh my God. Fucking Gavin was all pissed that Doyle was supposed to play on that show like way back when, with Guar and Ghoul. And it was just like, yeah, I'm not sad that I missed Doyle.
Yeah, like, I've listened to his records, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of his solo stuff at all. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great.
It's not in my liking.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm switching over to sparkling water. I need to chill the fuck out for a little bit.
Oh my God, you're a fucking piece of work.
Yeah. But I do have this.
Oh my God. So yeah, those are not sound effects, my friend. That's the real deal. Oh, so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Light force, enter me now.
Oh,
Fill my soul with your energy.
oh my God.
All right, cool.
Oh wait, I was looking at our notes, and Jeremy had a good band that, well, they fell apart after 3 albums.
Who's
That was Helmet.
Oh yeah. So okay. So that's Jeremy Klein. And we actually talked about him on the Lost episode, and we haven't, that's like one of the parts of the Lost episode we haven't brought back up yet, is talking sex with midgets. Because we had like
away text.
Well, just that I just thought that was funny because he had brought them, he sent me that message like, hey, you remember, like, because I think he was in that band. But yeah, he's like, do you remember Sex with Midgets? And I was like, oh my God, I do fucking remember that band. So shout out to Sex with Midgets, because that is a band name I don't really know if you could have nowadays, but maybe. But yeah, anyway, kudos to Sex with Midgets.
Yeah, fucking Helmet. He's dead on, because I actually like the fucking 3rd album a lot too. I can't think of what it is.
Oh, really?
It's Betty. It's Betty.
Oh, well, see, I liked Betty, but I kind of agreed with him. I think that it's like Meantime or nothing else for me. Like, I like Betty, but Meantime is just so good though.
Right.
I don't know. Well, so speaking of comments that people made on the website, the one part that fucking Toasty Oats had fucking mentioned was about him trying to kiss Kate. So what the fuck is that all about?
I don't remember that.
No, you don't?
Fuck no. I was just reading it laughing before you got on before we started recording, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember that. I'll have to ask her if she remembers that.
What a fucking scumbag, dude.
Dude,
quit trying to fucking
crazy.
Kiss fucking people's girlfriends, dude.
Oh, hey, Thaddeus, if you have my fucking Murphy's Law shirt still, I'd like to have it back.
I'm sure he does.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think he got ripped up or something, and maybe got spittly or something, and so I had to give him a shirt.
So let's talk. We talked about him a little bit earlier. I want to bring like a cool story back into this. Because we talked about a little bit of skateboarding stuff today. So stay on some skateboarding themes a little bit, but one like interesting tie-in that you don't know about that I think, I don't know, would be just like kind of interesting to bring up is, so we had talked about Jay Winger on like a pet, or not Jay. Well, we did talk about Jay Winger, but we talked about Jay Brower. But so Jay Brower's had the band Mockingbird Felony.
Yeah.
We talked about his ramps and stuff and how they were like instrumental in Williamsport skateboarding culture and all that. But so one thing you may not know, I went to Jay's house one day with the Rossmans. And this was after Jay, I think, well, I know for a fact Jay had already moved out. I guess he was in college or something at this point. But people would still go and skate the ramp. And he had a launch ramp out front. And his parents wanted the launch ramp gone. And the Rossmans weren't able to take it for whatever reason. And the launch ramp got offered up to me. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like I remember I was probably like, I don't know, 15 at the time. So like in my mind, I was like, oh my God, like someone's going to like give me like Jay Brower's launch ramp. Like this is like, that's like basically someone giving you like a gold plated disc or something. Like, fuck yeah, I want Jay Brower's launch ramp. That's amazing. And so Mike loaded it up in his truck and they took it to my house. And the launch ramp sat in my driveway for probably like a year. I skated in the driveway and we eventually moved it into my backyard, and we used the template of the transitions of this launch ramp because it was sort of like, I don't know if you're familiar, if you remember this ramp.
I don't remember it,
but it was definitely like a little bit of an oversized launch ramp. Even for then, it was more like a quarter pipe really, but it definitely was a launch ramp, but even had like a deck on it. Had like a little like 12-inch deck on the top, which is sort of weird for a launch ramp to have a deck that big. But anyway, it was probably like 3.5 feet high. I ended up tracing the transitions onto a sheet of plywood, and we turned that launch ramp into a half pipe in my backyard.
That's fucking cool.
And so we had this half pipe for, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 months. And I ended up converting it into a spine ramp with that same transition. So we skated this for a while. It was at like 3.5 feet high. And then, which is obscenely small to begin with. And then it's when like, I forget what video came out, but there was some video where like spine ramp was like super being utilized in this video. I think it was
Animal Chin.
No, it wasn't Animal Chin. It was definitely later than Animal Chin. Might have been like a Speed Freak, the Speed Freaks video, Santa Cruz or something, but there was definitely a lot of spine ramp footage. And we ended up cutting my 3.5 foot spine down to 2 feet to make it like an even more mini, like a micro mini spine, because we wanted to like learn like all the real more technical stuff that was coming out of the time, like blunt transfers over the spines and stuff like that. And 3.5 feet just felt like kind of high to like learn shit like that. So we cut it down even more. But the whole point of bringing this up is that those transitions, but not the 2 feet version, it was the 3.5 foot version. We took those transitions and changed them back to being 4 feet high. And those were the transition measurements that we used to cut the templates for the half pipe that was at Thaddeus's house.
Oh my God.
And
that's so crazy.
And I remember we had that ramp at his house, I don't know, maybe for, I don't know, half a year to a year. And we were skating that ramp a lot. And what's crazy is I have a lot of memories of very specific tricks that I actually learned on that ramp at his house. I remember I learned frontside nose blunts on that ramp. And there was something else I learned on that ramp too. Maybe like pivot to fakies or something. But anyway, it's just crazy that the progression of that ramp and like sort of all the iterations it went through and all the people who were involved with being a part of the like lifespan of that ramp.
Right. That's so, yeah.
It like lasted a really long time. So it's just crazy to think that like that was Jay's ramp, but he probably has zero knowledge about what came after he even had it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bet he doesn't. It's just fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because I remember what was I thought what was after Animal Chin? What was the other video? Was
Propaganda, I think, was after Animal Chin. Ban this.
Nah, fuck it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was Animal Chin is where we got introduced to the mini and the spine.
Well, definitely, I think like the big vert ramp at the end of Animal Chin was probably like the first spine ramp, but that was like vert style spine ramp.
Right.
That was pretty much after that, everything went to like 5 and 6 foot spines. Because people were like, this is too gnarly.
Yeah, so we built that one. The Jay's back tranny was too tight. It was so tight. Like I hate tight transitions as it is, and that was like fucking brutal. But I think even after he left, like I think like Ozzy Taylor and a group of them went up. I think part of that Martinsburg crew came up to the house and they relayered it and added a foot to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
and it was
talked about that on one of the episodes.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever skated J's is when those guys like added vert to it.
It's so fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was weird too, because it was like not vert transition at all. It was probably only like like most vert transitions back in the day would have been between 8 and 10 feet transitions. And this was like probably a 7. And then it went right to vert. So it was like skating like a Jersey barrier with vert almost.
Well, so to me, like a lot of this came from fucking skating a ditch.
Yeah.
Because the ditch,
like the Gold Bond ditch.
Yeah. Like Scott had hooked that up, and I guess various people, like we bring ramps and shit down there and added in, and Scott just seemed to be the fucking caretaker of it. Like he was always there.
Yeah.
I was always jealous of his coned ass wheels because he'd be like fucking skating on bearings back when it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Like he would have these fucking nubs because the fucking ditch, it had a tooth to it. Like it definitely
rough.
wore hard. Yeah.
Dude, you know what? Let's talk about the ditch a little bit. I think that's like, it's not very musical, but I have very limited experience with my friends and we always called it the Gold Bond ditch. We didn't know until years later that everyone called it the Skank ditch.
Oh yeah. So, I forgot about that too.
But so my knowledge of I only ever skated there like 3 times ever. So I'd be curious to like hear any like cool stories you have of skating there, because it's like I sort of missed out on that whole like little era.
Oh, and that was probably like, that to me was like whatever that summer was, like that was kind of like the apex, because it's like everybody was skating. I guess, and that was pretty much the sole focus. And like, I don't even know how we found out about it.
Well, just so everybody knows, there's this like drainage ditch in Funkstown, which is between it's like a little town outside of Hagerstown for those not familiar. And it's like this little small town, and there's a Gold Bond ice cream factory that was like on the top of this hill. And at the bottom of the hill was there was like the sanitation company for Hagerstown, basically.
Fucking reeked.
And there was like literally like where all the fucking sewage from Hagerstown would go, and like where they would sanitize it and stuff. But there was a drainage ditch there. It was like perfect for skating, and a bunch of people had like brought in plywood and quarter pipes and like set up a bunch of ramps,
curbs.
We had
a hip. Like there was all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. I remember Lenhar yelling at me because I never shut up. Because I'd give him shit. I don't know. Because I guess, I don't know. I thought he was awesome, and I didn't give a fuck that he was awesome. I was going to give him shit anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was super cool. But like just Scott fucking owned that place. He knew every fucking line. And it was awesome. Like there was like, we had like fucking, what do you want to say? Like a channel in it so that you could fucking grind over. Like we had like weird gaps, but we spent summer, like at least 2 or 3 good summers. We even tried to bring it back after they fucking started running rebar into the, into the, whatever you want to say, into the transitions to keep you from skating it.
Yeah.
I mean, but for the longest time, it wasn't a bust. Like nobody gave a shit. Like it was like a safe place to go where you could hang out. And it wasn't, I mean, when I wasn't there, maybe there was different fucking shit going on, but it was like, everybody was fairly cool. Like there wasn't like, I mean, it was spray paint, but fuck, it's a goddamn drainage ditch that nobody can see.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, so like you could not see that from the road. Like you had to know it was there to even know it was there.
Yeah, you had to go looking for it. Like it wasn't like if you actually skated there, because I had done that one or two times. It's like it was still like 500 or 600 yards off the fucking road. It was like you rode that in that fucking ditch, but that ditch, like the main ditch, was just had flat walls on it, and you skated the whole way back. And when you hit to the very end, it fucking panned out for some reason. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever skated another ditch since then that was so, I mean, and honestly, like Southern California is like the apex of like awesome ditch skating. And I still say there's nothing as good as the fucking Gold Bond ditch.
When that thing was fucking hooked up, it was incredible because we had like two vert walls on the opposite side. We had like a deck and a fucking drop in basically, but it was a ramp, but it was a fucking wide ramp. You know, they were 8-footers, like side by side. I don't know who has shit like that. I mean, who has it in pictures or stuff? I'd imagine Scott does.
I have pictures.
Oh, do you?
I have cell phone pictures of Gold Bond ditch photos that I took out of Scott's scrapbook.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, because I was at his house a few years back and I was like, dude, I was like, you got to show me some like fucking skank ditch photos. And he had like 2 scrapbooks full of photos he had taken from like every summer there. And I snapped like every single picture on my cell phone at the time. But the pictures aren't great because I mean, they're good enough. But like, you know, in scrapbooks, like there's like that cellophane over top of the photos. So there's like some weird glare on some of them. But because I was like, dude, you should scan these and like put them up somewhere. And he's like, oh, I've been planning on doing that. But I knew he would probably never do it. So I was like, well, I want to take pictures now while I'm having the chance to look at these. But so I only ever skated there like 3 times. And one of the times I skated there twice in like the heyday, like the times that you're describing. And then I skated it once years later in the rebar phase.
Ugh.
But one of the first times I ever went there was the one and only time I ever saw Jay Brower skate in person. We got there and I remember he was there skating and just like, I remember like thinking like, oh my God, like having like a rock star moment of like, oh my God.
From that area, like he
yeah,
was.
I was like, oh my God, that's fucking Jay, dude. Like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I gotta like make sure I don't kook out and like I gotta like be cool as possible and stuff. And I remember he was like fucked up. I don't know if he was like drunk or on something, but he was like really fucked up for whatever reason. And I remember he was skating a Steve Caballero board. Is the one with it. Well, I mean, all his boards had a dragon, but it was like the one where it's like goes long up the board.
Yeah. Yeah. It's framed out. I don't know I know exactly which board you're talking about. Yeah.
But if you can remember, like if you were coming into the ditch from the opposite side of the flat wall side, if you're looking in that way,
right
to the left, there was a quarter pipe drop in at the top of the ditch on the very left side. And then if you dropped in that one over to like the flat walls,
right
on the plywood side, and you come back down would be the other quarter pipe where which had the steel pipe between where you could grind that over that channel.
Mm-hmm.
So Jay like got up and set his board up on that quarter pipe to drop in. And I just remember being like, oh my God, like this is fucking amazing. Like I'm finally going to get to see Brower skate and it's going to be awesome. And I was like, dude, it was like, honestly, for me, it was like fucking, I was getting ready to see Tony Hawk or something. And he proceeds to drop in. And he cause like, so anybody who's listening, it's like the angle of the ditch was not super steep. It was actually a pretty mellow. It was like a 30-degree angle, maybe.
Yeah, I would say about a 30.
But then it went up and had like a deck on top. So there's like all these quarter pipes were like sitting along this like deck. So like imagine like dropping in on a quarter pipe, but then it going to another drop in on the ditch wall. Oh. So I remember him dropping in and there's just like enough of a gap between the bottom of the plywood and the ditch, like quote unquote coping. Mm-hmm. His fucking front wheels just like stopped and he fucking went like head over heels into the fucking flat bottom of the ditch and just like ate shit so hard. And I just remember him getting up and just like laughing and just be like, like whatever. Like he was all fucked up. And I just remember being so disappointed. Like, oh my God. Like I thought he was going to rip and he fucking ate shit.
So that fucking, the texture, that tooth was so bad. Like if you fell there, you were infected. Like there wasn't a clean fucking scratch on you.
Yeah, no
like
doubt.
if you went and you hit your knee, that knee was going to be pussing. Like there was no fucking doubt it was going to puss. Like it was going to get weird.
It's because it was fecal matter in your fucking bloodstream.
Oh, it was so fucking horrible.
Yeah, you're like literally skating in a ditch where shit was.
It's oh god, it was bad. No, the shit plant was over. Like this is all just drainage.
No, I know, but
I know
there was cross contamination. It floated over.
Oh my god. So I think like Jay came to like, what do you want to say? I'm trying to find a better word than what I want to say. He gained his status like from riding freestyle bikes.
Okay.
Like that's where it started.
Okay.
Like I think he was in a copy of like BMX Plus or something. Just like a random like note picture.
Yeah.
But he
up
was
and coming guys or something.
Like he was busting the air. Honestly, I think it was just like letters coming in and it was like a filler picture. I think. Don't hold me to it.
Okay.
But and like so that's like oh my god. He was a horror person, so that makes him awesome from the word go.
Yeah.
So he had my love from the word go because I am a fucking horror knob.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking pissed that I don't have $2,000 to put down for the 40th anniversary horror master.
Sorry.
It's fucking depressing. I'm like, what would I do with it? It would sit out with my FST and I just watch it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So anyway, and then he was on like the first wave, and I kind of think his brother was the first wave of the skateboarders. And then it kind of trickled in, but I don't know him to not have ever had a ramp. Like that's like he's had a ramp like fucking forever.
Yeah.
And like when I moved back, we helped him rip down the watermelon ramp because that's what he called it, because it was fucking pink and green.
Right.
And then we rebuilt took the watermelon ramp, salvaged what we could from that, and stripped the Williamsport ramp down, and then used whatever we could from that. But he was that. He was the king shit in fucking Williamsport. And for the most part, Scott.
Yeah, I would say those two are like the godfathers of Hagerstown, Williamsport skateboarding.
And he was and Jay was like the vert guy. Like that's where it was cool. Like I said in a prior episode, it was awesome that I guess because I could always go, he always took me with him.
Yeah.
So I was his tag along. And so we went to a lot of fucking places and skated. That was fucking awesome. But he was definitely, because I remember him being like, everybody looked up to him because he rode bikes, but then all of a sudden he converted over and it fucking started skating. And I figured out where my limitation was with skateboarding. Like I could never get over the hump of breaking the coping without grabbing. You know what I mean? Like when you hit the coping, like on a half pipe, when you're going up to air, and you can basically ollie and come out of the lip in air, or you can early grab. Yeah. And I could never get past the early grab. Like that was like my limitation. Like I could early grab and get over the coping, but I could never that was like my downfall, or like where I figured I had peaked, because I could not get my brain to work around that. And it wasn't that my body couldn't do it, because I'd done it before, but once I figured out what I did, it was done. Like my brain was like, yeah, that's a bad idea. We need to stop.
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know. Like I would say that my techniques evolved with that. I think when I was younger, I could late grab front side a little better than I could late grab backside. I would definitely say that my like front side airs and my lean airs were probably more of what you would consider, like, just lack of a better term, they're more of like pro level grabs, like you would see in videos, where as anything I would grab backside was always a little more like early style.
Yeah. And that's exactly like, it was crazy.
Yeah. But then it's weird too, because I think that evolved with time though. Like I think I always stayed a little later grab front side, but as I've gotten older, I mean, I haven't landed any like legitimate airs in years, but the last time I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe like 6-7 years ago was my last like real like vert sort of run that I was on. And I was definitely like, wasn't really landing anything, but I was definitely like consistent, like late grab backside airing, and feeling more comfortable with maybe trying to like land them. But yeah, definitely I was more on backside early grab status when I was younger, I would say.
Yeah. And that, I think, was his thing, is like, he could do it. Like he didn't have that clip.
Yeah.
Like he was definitely like, he could pop it out of the lip. And that, like, that's when we went to Cedar Crest. It was so crazy because he was a boy amongst men.
Yeah.
At Cedar Crest, because it was fucking crazy. But I mean, for us, I mean, he definitely led the way, him and Scott.
Well, like I mean, that's actually a good little transition, because I've seen a lot of Cedar Crest footage lately. And by the way, I mean, we've talked about this before, but I just think that's like so amazing that you even like got to go there. But like, what was he doing at Cedar Crest? I think just that like puts things into perspective of like the level of what he was in our area, like how much degraded was his level when he got humbled by Cedar Crest.
It was more of maybe it's like when you go, how do they, it's I guess like we'll say like going to college, like playing a sport. It's like all of a sudden everybody on your team played a sport and they were good at it, and that's why they're there with you.
Yeah.
So he was all of a sudden he was on, everybody, the rest of the team was on par with him. It wasn't us clowns fucking just taking up space when he could breathe. It was like they were actually. So I mean, he was still.
He was hanging in there.
He hung in there. It was like they were definitely like they were
like he was like dropping in and doing like airs and stuff.
Oh yeah. And it's weird is, well, Ocean City had a steel ramp. That was steel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a totally different surface to even deal with. Like that scared me shitless.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I did not want anything to do with it, because
did you drop in on Cedar Crest?
Fuck no.
No.
I was a puss.
Yeah. When you went there, did it already have the like structure built over top? Like
I think it did.
Thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did. It's been a while.
That's a
like
long time ago.
The thing I took away with us is hitting or Tom Cook running into the ass end of the Vulture and it's shitting all over the car. Like that's fucking what I remember about that trip.
But you pumped the ramp at least, didn't you?
No, I skated Tom's.
Oh shit.
So out in not McLean, what's the Plains, Tom Cook lived, and he had lights from RFK to light up his ramps. Like they were fucking stadium lights.
Jesus.
And they were, I could be wrong, I think they were 30, maybe 24, but I think they were 32 foot wide. And he had a fucking 12-foot half, and then he had a 3-foot mini, and they were back to each other.
Oh shit. So
you could go to one side or the other and fucking skate.
I don't even know who this guy is. How do you know this dude?
I don't know how we know it. It was through Jay.
Oh, okay.
Like Jay had connections. Like I think, what is it? Is it St. Paul School? There was a private school by us that a lot of people, like, it's a boarding school.
St. James.
St. James. Is that right?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, they're like the only
No.
private schools I know of in Hagerstown area are St. James and Goretti.
No, I don't think it's St. James. I'll have to look it
St.
up.
Mary's?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I'm all out.
Maybe it was St. James. We'll say St. James. But so, like, the dude whose parents owned the fucking 17th Street surf shop in Virginia Beach,
Uh-huh.
the one that we saw all the stickers from, he went to school there. So we used to skate with him. Like, it was like weird. Like, Jay had this weird connection. I guess he knew everybody somehow, but like, or he was at that level that he met a different caliber of person, meaning different caliber of skater. Like, it was like people, like when I met Jay and started skating with them, then all of a sudden, like, we're more at to see Lenhar.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it was like they were a better tier skater. So we went to all these different places. Like, there was a place up in Mercersburg that we skated at, but he dated some girl from Mercersburg Academy, and somehow that hooked us up to this guy in Mercersburg that had this fucking awesome indoor ramp.
Oh shit.
Like, there was just like this, it was weird, the connective tissue, like, it was a different level. And I don't know how to describe it, because I don't know what he did or how he got to the point where his connections were so different than ours, or were so much broader than ours, that we, like, it was like I said, I felt I was lucky to go with him. Like, I was stoked. Fuck, it was like, dude, we skated, and there was this dude, he got sponsored by GNS, and I think they used to call him Texas. Like, I don't remember what he was. He wasn't from Texas, but he skated like for a while, and he had one of the photographers following him around. And like, we'd show up and he'd skate with Lenhar. Like, that dude was at Tom Cook's ramp one night. Like, they were doing photo shoots, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, either of those dudes. I'll have to look those guys up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tom Cook was Jack Kent Cook's grandson. So there was a reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was a reason.
Shit.
That he had these big ass ramps.
Oh, no doubt. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any funny stories about the Skank Ditch that you can recall of like being there? Anything?
I might have drank a lot
there?
then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I might have drank a lot then.
That was like pre-aversion days, huh?
Yeah. And you know what's funny is I mean, people did drink and get fucked up there, but I almost think it was kept to a minimum.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to fuck up what we had going with the city.
Yeah.
And Scott could correct me, but it was like, we had an okay relationship with the city. And it was like, and when the cops came, if nobody wasn't doing anything, there was, you know, they were like, hey, can you guys leave? But it was never like anything horrible, as long as we weren't, you know, doing something wrong.
Yeah, like
you're just skating it
yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it was definitely, I'm trying to think. I was, like I said, it was the Lenhard giving me shit or telling me to shut up. It was always my favorite. Because I ran my mouth a lot. Big surprise.
Right. When you guys went there, did you come in? Did you park in Gold Bond parking lot and come down the hill, or did you come in from the main street, like through the plant? Because we always, like I said, I was only there like 2 or 3 times, but we were always told to park at Gold Bond.
Yeah, because you could sneak down onto the trail, but shit, it wasn't a road. Like, it was a path that had like dump trucks used. So I kind of think we actually used the path that the dump trucks used.
Okay.
Like, we didn't go through the sewage plant. Like, there was a back way up that we used.
That was the very first time we went there. We did go through the plant. Like, we actually,
and that's bad.
Yeah, we jumped the fence and we're like walking through with skateboards. And I remember people just like looking at us like, you fucking dumb motherfuckers. Like, why did you come through this way? And then the next 2 times we went to Gold Bond and like walked down the hill. But
we'll see. And that was where that was like the weird part is like you could get in trouble because Gold Bond, if they found out that you weren't there working, they'd call. Like there were too many people. So I don't know who actually was the protector of the land, but it was definitely, it was a bust if you parked in the wrong spot.
did you guys did people actively bring like boom boxes and stuff down there?
Yeah.
For, like, music
yeah.
and
There was
stuff?
always fucking radio.
Yeah.
That I remember. There's always a fucking radio. I mean, and so I laugh because I bitch about us being old and being how hard fucking records were to get a hold of and stuff. And like, that was always a great place to like find new shit. Like it's so weird. Cause I was thinking about the other day is I'm like, God, I sound like an old curmudgeon about the fact that, we couldn't find X record or Y record. But think about the limited amount of copies some of that shit was pressed.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, how the fuck do you know about it if fucking Metallica doesn't cover fucking Last Caress? Like all of a sudden it's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
And like it was just funny. I was just thinking about it. It was like, no, I'm right to bitch because it was fucking hard. Like I got a Drunk Engines cassette from Mike or Dustin.
I don't like that band.
Oh my God, you're a fucking moron. I liked
I've heard the wrong stuff.
Yeah, that album was horrible, but there was a cassette they did. It was like 6 songs. And it was really good. Yeah, that album, it was hard.
Yeah, I don't know which one I heard. I remember whatever I heard, I didn't like it.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. But anyway, like it was a fucking cassette that somebody found, like bought somewhere. And like we had to like share it to get, or get a copy of it. Yeah. And like Scott had all the fucking random weird records. Like the Faction, like, yeah. How hard would, now that they're repressing it was easy to find. But fucking after they pressed it, like that shit was fucking gold. If it was showed up at like Y&T or something, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit, the Sam Hain stuff. Like once that shit went, it was gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what Scott's kind of a collector. I'm sure he probably has all his records still, but I do know he still has all his old skate decks because I've seen him at his house. He showed them to me one time. He's got like all his 80s decks.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I yelled at Marv. I was like, dude, you know what the fuck you threw away? Yeah, I gave him shit.
That's funny. He was probably like, that's just like firewood. Well,
and it's funny is he told me about it. And then when I called him out recently about it, he's like, I never did that. And I was like, you told me you did. I was like, there was a stack of them in that fucking shed and you guys cleaned it out. I was like, you are a fool.
You cost me thousands of dollars. Like probably did though.
Oh my God. I know. It's just funny because I see shit that comes up online, like the Lester from Sims. Like, I'm like, that was fucking awesome. And I got that from Danny. Like I had a stack and it was like shit that like other people didn't want.
Yeah.
Like, I had an Agent Orange deck that I got from Jeremy Canode that somebody stole and then painted over it, but we like kind of got most of it off of it. So it was fucked up. It was like, and like, I guess Chris Miller's, like early Chris Miller's. Dude, it's sad to think about the shit he threw away.
Damn. And it was probably like skated, but not like, definitely they were still in decent shape. Or no?
Nah.
Not really?
No, it was back when you skate them till the fucking tails were gone.
So maybe they weren't worth that much anyway.
They're right here. Yeah. Right here, my friend.
Sentimental
right
value.
Here. Yes.
But that doesn't sell. Sentimental doesn't sell on eBay though.
No. But would you sell it?
See, that's the thing. It's like you have a bunch of decks that are worth money, but would you have sold them even if you had them?
No.
No, exactly.
No.
I have a bunch of decks I'm getting ready to sell. Yeah, I have some like early to mid 2000s decks that I bought literally for the investment, and because I knew they were going to be worth money, and they are fucking worth a shitload of money now. And I've been thinking about selling them. I have a whole set of the original anti-hero boards that came out in like 2007, 2006 or something like that, but they're all Lance Mountain artwork.
Oh, nice.
And they're pretty rare. I've thinking about selling them. I have there's 10 of them that I have. So I'm like, dude,
that's
I could
pretty
fucking sell those
awesome.
and probably make like $2,000, like super easy.
Yeah, it's depressing. I had one of my friends text me. He's like, "Do you got any old skateboards?" I was like, seriously? I was like, that shit. I was like, if I had that kind of the shit you're looking for,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be giving them to you.
Yeah, you wouldn't be getting it.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I have a couple, I have about 6 old 80s and early 90s boards. That's about all I have left. And I have a bunch of other stuff. I have some weird random Santa Cruz reissues that are worth a little money. I still have some conformist decks actually.
That's awesome. Don't get rid of I will take those.
I would say I don't even know what to do with them, because it's I obviously would never get rid of them, but I also don't have any place to put them at all. So I'm I don't even know what I'd do with them.
I know. We gave Joey one of his.
Do you have any boards left at all?
I have a Nodus.
No, I mean conformist boards.
I have some.
Yeah.
I don't have a complete set. I have odds and ends.
I have I have about 10 conformist boards, but I don't know. They're definitely all earlier ones.
I think I don't have a Raquel. I want that.
I have one of those.
I have the Jill Kelly. I have one that Tommy, Tattoo Tom with Andy. He did the art for one. I have that one. And then it's weird. I don't have half the shit that I would like to have.
Yeah, I have a Raquel deck. I have a bailout deck. I have a thumbs up deck. I have a Slumlords deck.
Better man than I.
I have a no redeeming. No, there's 2 others that I have, and I'm blanking on what they are right now.
Fuck.
But yeah,
I don't have.
I definitely have about 10.
And then one day, I showed up at the skate shop, and Ron, I believe, put half of mine, the shit I was holding on to.
Yeah,
it was all fucking hanging up on the wall. I'm like,
oh shit!
What? I was like, fuck. But we sold them, and I was like, it was crazy.
Oops.
Yeah. Oops. Fucking killing me.
So what, kind of backtracking a little bit, what is the, I guess, goal with Tusk? Are you planning on finishing that, or are you kind of abandoning that and going to start something else?
I honestly, I'm seriously thinking about going back and looking at it with a different set of eyes.
Now that you've got some classes under your belt.
I'm trying to think of actually probably, I'm, instead of trying to lie to myself, it's more about, because that I had enough control over that I could worry about production stuff and how it sounded and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm thinking about going back and dumbing down the amount of guitars I have. There's it's changed my thought process a lot. And I was, and only because it's that kind of home studio production type thing. And it's not like a band.
Yeah.
That's what kind of makes it different. Like it's like a project versus a band. And so I feel like for myself that I need to go back and look at it and kind of retweak it. So I feel comfortable listening to it again.
I got you. Yeah, it's cool. I definitely hope you do something kind of close to a finished product at some point, because I was really enjoying when you were sending me like demos of that stuff, because I was just hyped you had like a little project you were doing, and I thought it was really cool. I was like, damn, like, I don't know, you were putting some effort into like making some like real songs and stuff.
Well, and so so that I think that's part of like I was at the point where I was like, I wanted my friend Duke to do the fucking artwork for my 4-song EP.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I think I had like one last song I wanted to do. But now like going back and listening to it now, I want to like I want to re-scramble it. And these new relationship things are, you know, it's definitely, you know, I was home by myself depressed, so
yeah,
I had a lot of time to fucking play guitar.
Yeah.
And produce music.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think that, yeah, everything about that project was indicative of like where you were mentally too, probably.
So it's so crazy, right? Because I'm not a doomy gloomy.
Yeah, it definitely was like out of left field. Like I remember when you first started sending me stuff, I was like, whoa, this is like so not you, but like that's what I love so much about it, is like this, you're like digging deep to get this shit out or something.
Though the lyrics were all from what the fuck were they from? I watched like Ancient Warriors, like something on that Amazon or something, and I just each episode I'd write lyrics down per episode.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's where the lyrics came from. Like whatever the narrator would say, I'd start stripping shit apart from it and
that's
redoing
cool.
it.
Yeah, well, speaking of movies, we've been continuing our Nicolas Cage marathon too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've got about, I don't know, 3 more knocked out since the last time I brought that up. So we got a long ways to go. I did see Matchstick Men for the first time. That was pretty cool.
Did you watch Wicker Man?
Wait, like the old one, you mean?
No, the remake with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I didn't even. I think I've seen that, but I don't even remember him being in that. Oh, like weird.
The original one was weird and fucking kooky.
No, I like the original. I don't remember. I know I saw the new one, but I don't remember him being in it. I guess I believe you.
Yeah, look, you could look it up, motherfucker.
I am gonna look it up right now.
But you know what? What made the original work versus what he did? Like it missed the elements, I think, that needed to be there to convey the story. Like the if I would have not seen the original, like half of the fucking movie wouldn't make sense to me, or it wouldn't be deep enough. Like it all works, like, but there's no real what do you want to say, basis for anything to be built off of. Like it's all kind of just, and it just happens.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I was definitely a poser because I saw the newer one before I saw the original. I actually saw the original Wicker Man for the first time just a couple years ago. I really liked it though, but it definitely, that new movie Midsummer is very much like based kind of on like the plot of the Wicker Man a little bit, but I love that Midsummer movie. That's like one of my favorite modern kind of horror movies.
It was weird. Like
I thought that movie had one of the most accurate portrayals of like basically like mushroom tripping.
Oh,
like the way that they like did the effects in that movie, that was like so legit. I was like, damn, like if anybody,
I thought you were gonna say like Occult Life or something like that.
No.
And you were like, no, mushroom tripping. It was pretty dead on for that.
Yeah, but if there's anybody who's never like done any type of mushrooms or done acid or anything, and they want to know like what it looks like to do shit like that, watch fucking Midsummer, and like that's pretty fucking accurate.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
that movie's awesome. Then this guy who made Midsummer, he's the same dude that did Hereditary, and I thought that movie was fucking terrifying. I don't know what it is. Like I've heard so many people say that movie wasn't even scary and it wasn't that bad, and that movie like fucked me up for some reason.
spoiler alert. The fact that the little girl's head got bounced off the fucking telephone pole and I thought she was going to be the fucking main character.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's what killed me about the movie. Like,
Oh, really?
Once we got past that, like, then yeah, I don't know. Like, it definitely, like, I guess I was in shock the whole way through it because the person we thought was going to be the main character is gone. Her head's somewhere rolling down the fucking road.
Yeah.
But
I feel you on that. I think that definitely kind of got me too, but yeah, I've only ever seen that movie twice. We saw it in the movie theater.
well, that would have fucked me up.
Okay, here's the thing. I had it in my head ahead of time that I was like, I'm gonna go to this movie because I'd already heard some like fucked up shit about it. And I was like, I don't want to be like overly fucking scared in this movie. So I'm like, I'm going to go to it completely sober because if I like go in here kind of fucked up, maybe it'll fuck with me. And honestly, I think being sober in that movie was worse because that movie hit me weird. I don't know. It like really gave me like shitty vibes. And I had to wait almost 2 years before I watched it again. And I swear the second time I saw it, I was like, dude, I love this movie so much, but I also think I just like don't ever want to see it again because there's something inherently really evil about that movie that bothers me. I can't describe it.
There are movies like that. That one doesn't, because once again, we're going to fall into this weird clique where the whole idea of the satanic cult and shit like that just doesn't register in my little brain.
Yeah.
Like it is to me so fucking far-fetched, and like I just like it made it less scary for me just because it went into that kind of, I guess, because like I said, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
So it's like all of a sudden they go into it, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, see, that's probably my problem with that movie is like, I guess, I don't know. Like, I see what you're saying. Like, I don't think there's like full on cult, satanic cults just like all over the place, but I don't know. I guess I just like believe in the energy of evil and just like that there are people who can like bring that out into real life just through their actions and stuff. So that movie, I just like, especially the end when like, whatever, spoiler alert, like I won't say too much, but like the whole end scene where they're like in the tree house. I don't know if you remember that part.
Lots of naked people.
And I'm just like, I don't know, like honestly, even talking about it, like that movie, like
that's
me,
scary. That was
upset
what was
them,
scary
like,
is a bunch of naked old ladies.
Just like, yeah, like I don't know, dude. It's just like something about that whole movie. Just it's like disturbing and personifies like just the evilness that can exist in people that they believe that is a real thing that was happening.
Dude,
yeah, like we believe in Satan and whatever. Like I don't know, it's just like
I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, like I say, like it's like you think that's like hysterical, like you're like this is not real, but I'm like, dude, I think there's maybe not people to this level, but
exactly. I know. Yes, I guess I believe there are people. I don't know. I just always it doesn't.
I guess
register.
I can get emotionally invested in a movie more than you can. You're able to like you're seeing the ridiculousness of it like blocks your ability to like buy in completely or something.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess. I know. And I'm being maybe too cynical, but I just don't. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, speaking of evil, what the fuck is on your t-shirt, by the way?
Oh, dude, it's the fucking Flatwood Monster.
What is that?
It was a alien encounter before Roswell. I believe that's right. It's just fucking, you know what? It's like
it's fucking creepy looking is what it is.
it is like it's one of the early cryptid type things.
Okay. What does that mean though?
Like the cryptids like Bigfoot, cryptid, or
Oh,
my
okay.
god, you're falling into my wheelhouse of
Yeah, I was gonna
dorkiness.
say next time.
Next time, yeah. But it's like so this was part of Cryptid Crate. I'm not a whatever of Cryptid Crate, a subscriber, but they were at this. Oh my god! So there's this thing, and we're gonna go. I know we're running long already because I'm waiting to get my text saying it's bedtime.
Yeah.
But there's this thing above where we live, outside of Lancaster, and they have this little festival, and it's an Albatwitch, which I've never heard of before until this fucking podcast I was listening to.
Okay.
And there's this they have a festival in October, I think. And it's a mini Bigfoot. So it's so
God.
fucking bizarre.
Fuck.
But
Wait. So they believe that there is a mini Bigfoot?
Yes. Well, it's in celebration of the mini Bigfoot. There are stories, but it's not as prevalent in the culture as like a Bigfoot story is. They're fewer and far between. But yes, it does exist, and it's fucking funny as shit.
So it's Sisquitch instead of Sasquatch?
No, it's Albatwitch.
Albatwitch? Oh, that's his name.
That's the name of the
that's
monster.
mini Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Albatwitch.
The Albatwitch, or at least the Lancaster version.
Wow.
And so anyway, Cryptid Crate was there. But I was looking at their stuff just because one of the other podcasts I listened to, this guy started it, and so he was pumping it. And I'm like, I want to see what they had. But they had this shirt, and I was like, that shirt's awesome. I was like, because I'm a fan of one color shirts.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like if even though I sent you shit in color the last couple times,
yeah,
like the first t-shirt was black and white, and I think if you can't convey it in black and white, then you can't convey it at all.
Yeah,
it's really I
feel that
I'm such a black and white, and then us being fucking screen printers, fucking one color, dude. That's all.
Yeah,
it's so much easier, and I'm only paying for one $15 setup fee versus 4 setup fees.
Yeah.
But so it was there, and I'm like, holy shit. I was like, I'm buying. I think we spent like $60 at their tent. Like everybody would buying shit.
So what is the Flatwood Monster? Like what is
it's like an alien. It was like an alien encounter from, oh my God, I'm gonna mess it up, and then I'll get hate mail from dorks like myself.
Excuse me, but the Flatwood Monster was not.
I want to say I want to make sure I'm right. I almost want to say I was right. It's in West Virginia.
Wow.
It's like, oh Jesus Christ. Like, fuck. Yes, this is great radio. I'm just trying to, 52. So yeah, it was a very early, like it was like one of the, what do you want to say? When was Area 54 or whatever, area, whatever. It was, I think it predated that. Like it was an encounter that happened. I think there was a big gunfight. It was like crazy shit.
Weird.
Like there was a fucking family like pinned down fucking shooting at people or shooting at monsters.
Damn, I definitely am gonna research that. Oh
my God. Yep, that's my wheelhouse, people. I am way into dumb shit like that because what else are you gonna listen to?
That thing is like creepy as hell. What is the bottom? Like, what does it look like below its hands?
It's just, I think they just kind of taper it out. There's not a whole lot of graphic there.
But it's like supposed to be like from outer space.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm buying that, but
I
think I have more of a tendency to, and I think it's pretty absurd to even think that Bigfoot is real, but I believe that over the fucking Flatwood Monster.
September, over 50 investigators concluded that it was a meteor and it was a barn owl is what they think. But here's the
Oh my god.
That's the wiki. Anyway,
so basically that the Flatwood Monster is something that somebody saw when they fucking ate mushrooms for the first time in the woods.
it could have been. It could have been. Oh my god. Now you're gonna make me feel bad.
Fucking Albatwitch.
The Albatwitch is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I want to see if I can find documentaries about all this stuff and watch them.
Oh, Flatwood, yes, you'll find.
Yeah.
There's a that one's a more documented than the Albatwitch. The Albatwitch is fuck. I don't even know where the shit it came from.
Oh my god.
It's so bizarre. I know.
Yeah, we'll have to get more into shit like that on another episode because that stuff's hilarious to me. You talking about like satanic cults. That's like basically that's how I feel about shit like that. It's like I'm not saying that it like anything's possible.
Anything's possible, but
I don't know, man. I feel like there's way more evidence against there being something like a Bigfoot than there being a Bigfoot.
So I put them on the same level as satanic cults.
Gotcha.
Like they're all like it's all just a jumbled mess, but they're all about the same level.
Yeah.
Like I can't get my head, but I love it's like the crazy Christian one I listen to. I love how passionate and deep like people's beliefs go. Like even though I don't have it, I admire it. I don't know if I want to be that way, but I don't have anything I believe in that deeply or that fully that like there's such a passion in what these people talk about that I enjoy it, whether I believe it or not.
Yeah. No, I totally get you.
Dude, I am so
I love the lore of stuff like that. And I'm very intrigued by that. And I find it fascinating. I just think generally speaking, science usually works against all those things more than it like aids in proving it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the lore and I think it's fun. And I've definitely watched plenty of Bigfoot things that I found very entertaining.
What about the Snollygasser?
Snollygasser? I don't even know what that is.
That is from our area. Like that's folklore from like Frederick, Hagerstown, in like the in-between mountain area. Like it's like part of the it's part of the Germanic culture from like back in I guess like 1700s. Like
do you know how do you even spell that?
What Snollygasser?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm writing it down.
I want to
research all this shit.
This is we have totally went off topic tonight.
That's fine.
I don't know. I got SNALLYGASTER.
Oh my god, I've missed it by one letter.
And there's actually they're opening a museum, I think, in Frederick.
Wow. Well, that's cool because I definitely want to talk to some people back home and see what if anybody knows about that.
I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it was from our area. Like, so way back when, I think there was a band on the Thumbs Guys record label that Perestroika was on. And they were called Snollygasser. So I looked it up one time. I was like, holy shit, that's from here. Like I knew it was a mythological creature, but I didn't know where it came from.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, definitely never heard of that ever. And that's funny too, because I feel like there's definitely people in my family who would like actually like think that shit's legitimate or something. So it's like weird. I've never heard of that.
Oh my God.
Interesting. All right. Well, cool. Well, fuck. Right. I think that's a good time to end it, dude, because we went so many random directions today.
Fucking Snollygasser.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing tonight. It's going to be a YouTube kind of evening.
Albatwitch and Snollygasser. That's probably going to be the name of the podcast.
Nice.
Oh, shit. All right, everybody. We totally went off the wheel, right? Well, whatever. Just went off the tracks tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. That was probably partially my fault. I set us off on a bad tangent being fucking wasted. So there you go.
Oh, it's all right. Happens to the best of us. Or did at some point. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Did you like our comments on the website about using a version X song titles to bust your balls?
Yeah, it's nice. Fucking people. Like I said, I'm going for my swatch.
Yeah, I think you got to get it. I think you should do it. I support it. I'm 100% on board on rocking straight edge gear if you're not straight edge anymore. I think that's fucking cool. It gets a pass by me.
Or it was what mandatory straight edge.
What is that?
I said mandatory straight edge.
Oh, what do you
Well,
mean?
it's not mandatory, but
What, to have a swatch watch?
no, I imposed on myself. That's
Oh, gotcha. I see. What
we
you're
went
saying.
way too deep last week. Holy fuck. Killing me.
What do you mean?
Like deep into the psyche, and I don't know.
Oh, just like,
I don't have much of a filter, so I just blah blah blah. And then I'm like, why am I telling 100 people I don't know about my drinking?
about how much I love alcohol and all things affiliated with alcohol, including its marketing tactics
Fuck yes.
and advertising.
It's so true.
Yeah, you're fucking sick, man.
That's awesome.
You have a sickness. You're down with the sickness, dude.
Oh my god, Dice. On that note,
Yeah.
adios, motherfucker.
Yeah, later. This podcast was brought to you by Potty Mouth Records. Contact us at pottymouthrecords@gmail.com and find us on the web at pottymouthrecords.rocks. That's .rocks.